All right, Dad. So you decided to marry a white woman as an African-American man in 1966 or 7. I can't even remember the date. What were you thinking?
Well, I usually look at the individual, and that may seem a bit unusual because I was born in the Deep South. And in some states, it was illegal.
Right.
But I've never been one to let other people decide my destiny. So I met this young lady, Fran Lynch, that I fell in love with, and I decided I was going to marry her.
Well, I've always thought it was a little bit funny that you, as a black man in 1967, married a woman whose last name was Lynch. And so did that not cause you a moment of pause?
Well, Dane, to tell you the truth,
Yeah.
I did not really pay any attention to that. I was totally oblivious.
I remember growing up, we had that house in Chicago with the big picture window, and they kept throwing bricks through it. The windows would be broken. I guess I was like 5 or 6. You decided to have all the neighborhood over to the house. And I remember you telling me to sit in this Queen Anne chair and watch what happened. How did you make it through that?
Well, that was a lot of tension. It was all I could do to keep my composure.
What made you so contrary?
I have no earthly idea. I've always just wanted to do things that normal people didn't do. I would go out to the airport and watch planes take off and land. And this one guy walked up to me and asked me what was I doing there. And I told him that one day I was going to buy me an airplane. And he looked at me and he told me, you know, black folk can't fly airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, well, I think I'm going to buy an airplane, and what I'm going to do is have you and your son polish it for me. So I went back home and I bought an airplane. I knew that if I purchased the plane, I would be committed to learning how to fly.
Yeah.
So that was the rationale for my action.
You definitely learned how to fly.
Yes, I did. To this day, if I find something that I'm fearful of, I'll find a way to overcome it.
Yeah. What did you think about Barbara and I deciding to adopt a African-American boy and name him after you?
I was tickled pink. That was one of the happiest days of my life.
Any advice for me on things I need to do a little better?
No, I am exceedingly proud of you.
Well, Dad, you've been the role model in my life for a long time. I explain it to people. I'd say, what's your dad like? My dad's the epitome of a strong black man. That's my dad. A lot that I have is because of you. I love you, and I'm glad we got a chance to do this.
Oh, good. And I love you, too. Always have. You've always been very, 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 very special. But I must say, I don't know that it was very adult of you to conjure up something like this interview, to ask questions that you wouldn't have asked otherwise.
I actually call that genius.
All right, okay.